Recorded in our studios in Salem, South Dakota, TWA presents South Dakota Championship Wrestling, an ecclesiastical brand of pro wrestling. Here at TWA, it's all about the blood. Hello, TWA Universe. This is your founder and Fuhrer, Rick Hidalgo, and today we're going to have a little chat. TWA, Trinity Wrestling America. What is it? Why is it? What's going on? Why don't we hear from you very much anymore, founder and Fuhrer, Rick Hidalgo? Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the 13 people, talent, that have stepped up and said, yes, I'm in. Let's get going. Let's start to wrestle. I want to thank you. I want to thank the others who have come forward to be part of our leadership, to be part of our team. I want to thank everybody who has come forward and said yes and signed an agreement with us to wrestle for the blood. Okay, so that's the first thing. Thank you very much for those of you who have. Now, I want to speak to those who are on the fence. I want to speak to those who don't think that they have anything to contribute to TWA. I want to speak to those who will in the future be sent this video by somebody who's currently part of TWA and wants to solicit you, if you will, for an opportunity with TWA. Let's talk a little bit about the business. Let's talk a little bit about America. Let's talk a little bit about how it all was and how it is not anymore. Did you know that there was a time in America that you could have invested just dollars into something, and over time you would have had a sufficient amount to invest into infrastructure, to invest into business, or in our case ministry, so that you could take that small investment and multiply it into something that you would be able to live with and live off of for the rest of your life. There was a time that, financially speaking, in America, you could pay off a house in 3 years. Okay? There was a time. But I don't know if you've noticed, but those days are over, right? Those days are over. 30-year mortgages are the custom now. It's nearly impossible to break into any field. You name the genre, anywhere across the American experience, and you're going to notice it's nearly impossible to break in. You've got to work and collect, and how almost impossible that is, because we got to eat, we got to pay bills, right? We have all those things. So to get into something is nearly impossible anymore. Now, there's going to be some who say, well, Rick, if you're willing to take a risk and go get a loan to start a small business, you too can do it. Well, there was a time when that was possible, but there are factors associated with this. Number one, we are a Christian organization. We do not do this primarily for money. The scriptures tell us to seek first his kingdom and its righteousness, and then these things will follow. Okay? So we don't necessarily go out to make money. Making money is a byfactor of what it is that we do. First of all. Second of all, have you ever read a contract? If you are in the business of looking at contracts like I am, you're going to notice contracts have evolved over time. Contracts are no longer something that if you're a nobody, you can get into. There is a lot of writers in contracts that have to do with who you are and who you know. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Okay? So there's a trust factor. Okay? There's all kinds of different factors when it comes to contracting. Now, what am I getting to? What am I trying to say? What am I trying to communicate? I'm trying to communicate that the American experience has turned into massive amounts of gatekeepers across every genre of everything. Whether you're trying to get into construction, whether you're trying to get into retail, whether you're trying to get into food production, doesn't matter what you're trying to get into, there are gatekeepers and there is big government involved in every single aspect of it. Well, I'm here to tell you that there are literally no paths to getting to a point where you can run anything without lots of help from big government. And lots of help from big government means you have to sign agreements and contracts which give them compelling interest. And guys, I don't know if you've noticed lately, but they use their compelling interest against you. Okay? This isn't a conspiracy theory. These are facts. Okay? So, here's what we're doing. Okay? We are looking at this from a different perspective. I need talent. I need people who love wrestling and love Jesus. And those two things are the only two ingredients to what constitutes TWA. And here's the thing. In the beginning, we're going to be working together to create an infrastructure. Okay? Now, you can't be creating an infrastructure and get paid at the same time, right? So I'm not going to be taking any payment whatsoever. And part of our agreement is you two are going to wrestle in order to help us as a team create this infrastructure. So we're going to reinvest what we make in wrestling into an infrastructure, okay? And here's what the founder and Führer of TWA agrees to give you back, okay? You end up being a lifelong member of TWA. You end up getting access to the land that TWA is, which I'll talk about in just a little bit, that access to the land that TWA is going to build an infrastructure on. You're going to be, you're going to have an apartment on that land, and you're going to be able to come there whenever you want to, be a part of our studio, our studio concept, because we're going all the way, right? All the way. So that's a pretty sweet deal. And by the way, once we have that infrastructure built, guess what? Compensation is part of the plan, right? Okay, so stuff to put in your pocket on top of it. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. We have to work together to get there, because there are gatekeepers everywhere who say no when you begin to walk into this biz. Okay? First of all, there's detractors, right? Everywhere there are detractors. People, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You have no idea. You're a little fish and you're never going to break in. Okay, great. Say that all you want. All right? No problem. I can handle insults. No problem. That's good. But here's the deal. We're going to work together to create that infrastructure, because that's the only way to do it anymore. If you've noticed, there are millions of independents all the way across America. All right? And some of them are doing better than others. None of them are doing like WWE. None of them are doing like AEW. None of them are doing like TNA. None of them are none of them are even doing like NWA, which, I mean, I think, I won't talk about what I think. So the point is, we have to get to a point to where we've built the infrastructure that can be maintained, all right? Now, so there's a quid pro quo. You help me, I help you, right? Now, I got a big announcement to make. We are now in a contract for deed for land. I have 40 plus acres in southern Wyoming that I am purchasing. We as a family, the Furer's family, is taking this land, and the whole idea behind this land is to build the TWA studios, the TWA apartments, the houses for our family, agricultural areas so we can feed ourselves, all those kind of things. We have a huge plan, okay? So we have 40 plus acres that we're going to build this on. Now, I want to remind you, when a certain other big wrestling promotion, the one that claims to be the biggest one in the world, okay, when they went out and found their headquarters location, it was in the middle of nowhere. It's built up around them because they became a feature and people wanted to be in that area. Okay, guys, we can do the same thing. All right, we can do the same thing. Wrestling is at a crossroads. It really is. You look around, there is satisfaction and there is dissatisfaction. Now you're going to say, yeah, it's always been there. Yeah, but not at the rate that we see now. Okay, not at the rate that we see now. So what am I doing? I am surrounding myself with passionate people who are going to be part of our leadership structure. And trust me, we have a leadership structure. I am not in any way 100% in charge of anything. Okay? I may have a final say when it comes to things, yes, because I have to keep it in the right vein. But TWA's got a leadership structure and a leadership team that's coming together. We have a creative team. Already a couple of great individuals are there. You can see that on our website, TrinityWrestlingAmerica.org. You go there and you can see our leadership chart is starting to come together. We need a promotions and marketing team. Okay, what are those? Well, we can talk about that when you call, but we need people who are out there literally selling TWA to partners. Okay, I'm not talking about like partners as far as funding or supporting that type of thing. I'm talking about venues, partners. Okay, we're looking in the beginning because it's getting really hard to find secular venues to walk into because we have a very strict agreement policy. Okay, it's really hard to get secular venues to allow us to come in there. But we can find churches that have gymnasiums and we can get in there, okay? So we need a promotions and marketing people to come in. And here's the quid pro on that, okay? As TWA develops and becomes what it's going to become, all right? You can put that on your resume. You can say, hey, I was part of the TWA promotions and marketing team. And eventually, when we get to a point where we've built out our infrastructure and we begin to be able to Levitically compensate people, you know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. The promotion and marketing team are going to be blessed too. Okay? Now, we have a third part of our leadership structure, and that's our booking team. All right? Everybody knows what a booker is. But the booker is really important to have in different areas because not everybody can, be available at the same time. So we got to have bookers that know what they're doing. And the booking team's got to work very closely with our creative department. Okay, so we've got a booking team that we're looking for. I'm still looking for kind of leadership in the booking team area. I think I might have found my guy, but we're still growing here. Number 4, rules and communications team. I've got to have a rules and communication team. The rules and communication team's got to do with referees, and it's got to do with communicating with the talent and communicating with the leadership team. The different things that need to come down. Okay, come down and be told to people as far as what we're looking for. Hey, we need to do a little better here. Hey, you guys did great over here. We need a rules and communications team. Still looking for leadership when it comes to that. So if you are a referee and you qualify on the 2 things, you got a passion for wrestling and you got a passion for Jesus, you can qualify for the rules and communication team. Always wanted to be a referee, we can help you with that. Okay. The 5th team that we're building is a training and development team, because without training and development, we are not going to get to where we want to get. Now, I have to say, I'm an old school wrestling guy. You look around, back in the day, we saw every shape and size of people, from Haystacks Calhoun and Uncle Elmer all the way down to Sean Waltman and little pipsqueaks. Okay, we've seen them all. We have seen them all. Sam Houston, you ever seen that guy at first? All right, Sam Houston, super talented worker, but look at his body type, and okay, we've seen it all. We have seen it all. So we need training and development in order to help to train and develop the talent that we have to become the absolute best that they can be. All right? So those are things that we're building. Those are things that we're putting together, but it's going to take us working together in our leadership team, in our talent pool, to be able to come to a place where we have enough to invest into an infrastructure that's going to bless us for the rest of our lives and even to our children's children. Okay? The scriptures literally say that a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. What better inheritance than a continuation of a blessing of Levitical compensation going to your children's children's children? So we can build that, but it's going to take us working together. So, that's what I wanted to talk with you guys about today. If you have any questions whatsoever, or if you have an idea that you'd like to be a part of this team, or part of our roster, or part of whatever here in TWA, you can email me, right? rick.twa@outlook.com. So Rick, the dot, the little period symbol, twa@outlook.com. You email us there, and depending on what the question is or what the thing is, we can schedule an interview, an appointment, and you too can be part of this. There are massive future plans, folks. Massive future plans. But it's all precipitated upon, can I find enough talent and enough passionate people to surround this leadership and roster so that we can accomplish the mission of telling the gospel story through professional wrestling storytelling. Okay? We can do it, and we can do it in a fabulous way, and we can do it in a way that will attract attention. But it all starts with you. Are you willing to come in, work with me like family, and know that the blessings on the back end? Everything we do here at TWA, it's all about the blood.